The industry leaders now believe that limiting global warming to its manageable threshold requires a historic shift in how we create and consume energy. A fundamental power sector transformation is underway, and countries and utilities are increasingly adopting renewable energy. To take forward a discussion on the topic of making the grid green in the digital world of energy, I would like to invite Mr. Friedrich Godemel, EVP Energy Systems for Schneider Electric, and Mr. Punaya Director Energy Systems, Schneider Electric India.
Hello? You can hear me, Fred? Okay. Hello, welcome. I know it's always a very difficult thing to get up early in the morning during winter. I'm so glad to see many people here. Thanks for coming. My name is Ponnaya Sankarakumar, and as was introduced, I do strategic transformation for power systems in India. That's the one-liner. And here with me, I'm so pleased to have Frederick.
Hello, Punaya. I'm pleased to.
If I can read a quick few words about Frederick. Fred joined Schneider Electric almost 30 years ago now. So congratulations, Fred, for making 30 years. And he has contributed to a lot of business challenges and growth in both low voltage and medium voltage within Schneider Electric. He has held a lot of operational roles. He has worked, lived many places, in France of course, but also outside France, in China. Right now he is based in Dubai, running the global power systems division within energy management. Okay, again, bonjour Fred, and namaskar.
Bonjour, namaste.
You travel a lot. You have gone to many countries. You have lived and worked in many countries. So let's start with your take about Indian power system professionals and in very particular sense, Elecrama in India.
Well, Ponaya is, as you say, 30 years. I mean, the electricity business, and probably 25 years was my first visit to India. So long time ago, I see India as a country first where power is critical, right? Where electricity is critical. It will become the largest countries for sure in power generation, and in electricity usage. It's a country where basically technically the level has improved dramatically if I compare to 25 years ago. Integrating new technologies. Now this country goes very fast at developing new technology. I saw on Elecrama good things on automation linked with electricity, right? And I see here a good dynamic. The technical level of the people is super good. I mean, we have very good people, engineers around power and so on. And that is a country, like many, that is facing a huge challenge on the use of energy, right? Because the population is growing, the use of energy is growing, and anyway we know, and not only in China, not only in India, sorry, like in many countries, that we need to use this energy on a more proper way in the future.
Sure, okay.
So big thanks, just if you allow me, I want to thank the organizer of Elecrama, of this event, which is a super good event, having all the profession coming together in one place, where we can exchange, see the dynamic, and see where this market is going. So big thanks for the organizer of this event.
Thanks, Fred. I think let's move on to set some context here. We are all here to discuss about a certain topic which is very close to a few of us, and I hope all of us. And Fred, a lot is being said about the climate change, for or against, etc. What is your take on climate change?
But look, our take is that we took a commitment on helping and finding technical solutions to help the climate equation. What is it, the climate equation? Is basically that the energy consumption will increase, right? But if we keep using it the way we use it today, it will be unsustainable. That means the CO2 emission will be way too high, right? So what we need to do is being more efficient in the way we use the energy, and decarbonize the energy generation. And it's not one or the other, it's both, right? So the right way to decarbonize is basically to substitute as much as we can energy by electricity, because electricity can be decarbonized, which is not the case of other fossil energy. So the first thing is very much around decarbonization, right? And it will help obviously to curve down CO2 emission. It will not be enough. We need as well to use this energy on an efficient way. That means we need to consume less energy for the same amount of things that we want to do. Because anyway, population will increase, use of energy will increase. You look at data centers, 20 years ago, there was no energy consumption around IT, okay? Today, it's already more than 5% of the energy consumption. And guess what? In 20 years from now, it will be 10–15% of the energy consumption. Who wants to stop to use mobile phone? I think nobody. So we will keep using them, but we need to use them on a more efficient way.
Super. Let's say a very simple statement, new world of energy. Can you define it for us, please?
But the new world of energy is a world in which energy is decarbonized, okay? So the principal source of energy should become electricity, right? It's a decarbonized source of energy, provided we produce it with renewable, where we are engaged, but still way to go, right? But the dynamic is here. We know now, we see solar, we see wind, we see that there are solutions that are affordable at an economic return, right? So this will come, but this is not enough. So electricity, but automatized electricity, right? This is what we call the new world of energy. Why automatized? Because it allows you to use this electricity with the lowest carbon footprint. I can give you a few examples, right? If you're able to unman your substation, right? You don't need people to travel to go there, and you save, obviously, in terms of travel, in terms of monitoring the things you do. I can give you another example, is maintenance. For example, for utilities, maintenance team are extremely big team, and is a big carbon footprint, right? You can completely automatize the maintenance and make it, obviously, you will still have operations of maintenance to do, but you can do it on probably a factor of 50% more efficiency. Optimizing when you go, optimizing the driving of the people who do that, and then you save energy at many aspects, right? I can give you a third example, is electrical vehicle. Obviously, when we will be able to have at scale electrical vehicle, we will decarbonize and be much more efficient in the use of energy compared to what we are doing today.
Super. And I think sort of we are falling in the trap of saying, you know, whenever we talk about green, we either think about the renewable generation, or on the consumer side, we talk about electrical vehicles. Is there not anything greener in between in the distribution space?
Yes, so we in Schneider looked at the distribution space, right? We started by looking at renewables. Obviously, we came with solution to integrate renewable on the network. But we saw that the distribution space was really something we need to look at. That is a very important part of this equation. Why? Because when now you produce renewable, you produce them directly on the distribution grid. Most of the time not on the transmission grid. I know it's changing countries by countries, but basically it can even be produced at the low voltage level, right? At a home or residential level. So we looked at the distribution as an important piece of this equation. We started to develop solutions to allow to integrate faster renewable, solution to automatize, as I was explaining, substations. And then we looked inside the substations and we saw that basically our high voltage and medium voltage gears, and especially the medium voltage gears, were using one gas, which is SF6, which is a super gas from an electrical standpoint, but that is not a super gas for the environment, right? The emission of SF6, despite we do it on very strict processes, emission of SF6 are not good for the CO2 equation, is the gas with the highest global warming power, right? So we looked at this as looking at all the distribution sense, so it was not our only focus, but we say here we have an issue. We use a gas that is not great for the environment. So on one hand, we want to promote greener solution, we want to automatize the energy, and we add this gas like all manufacturers, right, the gas to cut to cut the power of medium voltage. So we look with our R&D that was already very engaged on digital, on alternative solutions, and I'm pretty happy to tell you that we found a solution for all our medium voltage gear, right? So RMUs, primary GIS, right, to replace SF6 by one gas that we know is completely safe, which is air. Okay? Air under pressure, and basically we found and we patented solution so that we can break and isolate into a single gas that is air. And with air, we are, you know, in a safe environment. That's something we know. Okay, we use a combination of air and vacuum. Okay, to break the arc. Vacuum being another solution that is completely bulletproof. I would say that we have experimented this year, and I'm very pleased today in Eleckrama to announce that starting from this year, we are in position to deploy those solutions. Can be secondary, can be primary, to replace former SF6 solution, and being able to deploy them in the network in India this year.
Wow, this is great. It is, in a lighter vein, if you say, you are saying that we will give air in switchgear in a lighter way. But in a more serious way, are you saying, or are you suggesting that we can avoid using SF6 completely?
Yeah, in medium voltage, we will stop use SF6 completely. So our CEO took a commitment that in 2025, we will be able to offer the complete range without SF6, okay? And we will do it. Obviously, a lot of work still in front of us because we have many products to replace, but we will be able to offer from secondary switches, secondary RMUs, primary what we call GIS switchgear. We will be able to replace them by a complete offer without SF6, right? So to make it short, braking will be with vacuum, insulation will be with air under pressure, right? And we will do it in the same dimensions that what we do today with SF6, right? Because for those who have a bit of history of electricity, air solutions were existing long time ago.
Of course.
Simply they were very big, they were not that safe, right? And they have been progressively replaced by SF6, okay? We come now into a new era in which we will be able to offer solutions with air, and we call them green and obviously digital, because we want those solutions to integrate all our features of digital. Thermal sensors will be native, so we will be able to monitor those solutions remotely so that customer can get the highest level of automation, the highest level of safety, and something that is really green. And you could say, well, is a small stake? Is not a small stake. Removing SF6 from medium voltage is a big stake for us, and I guess for our utilities. So with those solutions, we will be able to put product on the grid that will have no problem to be recycled in 30, 40 years from now. Because the problem we have with SF6 is that we will need collectively as a profession to recycle this SF6. We cannot stop those products and put them into a garage. Is not good for the environment.
That's interesting. The very positive message that you have given us is that SF6 free is available, and that's not any alternate gas. It's just air, packaged air. And in order to sort of wind up this discussion, there is a set of rapid fire questions for you, Fred, if you are ready, whenever.
I'm always ready for fire question.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Short answer questions. We are showing a switch using this technology here in the booth. Okay. Have there been prototypes employed around the world? If yes, where?
So quick answer, we started to deploy pilots in 2019, okay, before going to many countries. We have a first pilot that has been deployed in Sweden with a utility in Sweden. Then we deploy another pilot close to New Zealand in New Caledonia, and one pilot in France in close to our R&D center with a local utility. So 3 pilots operated today. More to come. I guess in January we will have 2 more pilots, one in China and another one in Europe.
Okay, I do remember now when you have reminded me. If you guys go to the website, you will be able to see the video of Eon, for example, the guy who has got a lot of horses is our customer. And of course, the Green Alps project in France. Okay. The next question is, any customer reaction so far?
Well, the customers are obviously positive because of the carbon footprint of this new solution, but the point that comes very often is that they are pretty happy because we kept the same dimensions that the previous ranges, so it's very easy for them. We kept the same operating model because we have leading position into switchgear, so obviously people are used to our products and they are pretty happy because we kept exactly the same mode. And the third thing they love is our digital suite that is consistent between medium and low voltage, and you know that now in substation communicating with low voltage is something that is quite important. We have a consistency there with our low voltage offer that you can see on the booth here, and people are pretty excited about that.
It's very clever. The keeping the same dimension and footprint is very clever because we are not going to change the behavior, operating behavior of the customer. We are actually fitting in our new solution in the behavior. Very good. We are in a conservative industry. What are the regulators around the world saying, if at all, anything about SF6?
Yeah, we used to say we are in a very conservative industry, but this industry is transforming a lot, right? The environmental concern is at the heart of this industry. This has moved on to renewable as we speak before. So now all what is around renewable is super well perceived, right? And this part is basically very well perceived. I know that it will take time. People want to test the solutions. That's what we do, pilots, by the way. That's what we do, pilots. And we are ready for that. Now I believe when you really look at the ability we have to reduce carbon emissions by removing the SF6, I don't see how the profession could not move, right? We are all citizens of this world, right? We need to make this planet greener, and here we have an affordable solution to make it greener. So why not to move? So despite this industry is conservative, I saw the move of renewable, which is now a reality every day. I am sure SF6-free solution will be a reality in 5 years from now, every day.
Okay, that's a great prediction. Thank you. The team has done it. Are you proud of your team, Fred?
Of course. Of course, I'm proud of the team. And I used to say that, it's not the end of the race. I'm proud about the technological innovation, for sure. But the race is on, because now we need to market it. We need to convince our customers, we need to convince institutions, we need to convince the profession that this is a good solution for our future. So still a lot of work to do. So I'm proud, but very humble. We still have many hurdles to overcome.
Super. So I think it was a great exchange. I thank you first, Fred. And
thanks, Ponaya.
And I thank these guys here, lovely audience, for coming in very early. Now I think there is time for a few questions. Fred will be happy to answer.
Sure, don't hesitate.
Hi Frederick, hi Ponaya. It was a very informative session. I just had one question, that is, what does future of green energy look like when, considering Indian scenario?
Look, I will answer, you will complement, obviously, because you're every day in India, which I don't have the chance to be every day in India, being traveling. Look, I think the future is probably for me a mix of renewable, a strong mix of automation, right? And probably a mix of local storage, so that you can basically compensate the instability of renewable. In a local way, right? A local can be a set of homes, can be a district, right? An industrial park, in which I believe today we will have complete affordable microgrid solution for being able not to completely isolate from the grid, but provide locally a level of sustainability, quality of power that will be at the good level. So I think it will be a mix of all that, right? what decarbonization coming by renewable, decentralization, and obviously digitization, so that we will be able, with automation, to completely balance the needs and the supply. That's the way I see it.
Just 2 points to add. I think Fred has said it all. I would put the boundary at the meter. So both sides of the meter, things are getting greener as we speak. So on the generation side and as well as on the demand side. So that's the first one. And then of course, every single organization's purpose, even in India, will change over the next few years. If you take the electricity boards, as we used to call them, or the utilities, they'll have to, sort of encourage people to go greener, but also to manage a lot of data in the future. So every single organization's purpose will also change. Just the 2 points to complement.
Yeah, just the last one on this one. I used to say that in the future, a distribution utility will be a data management, an electricity data management company, right? Trading between the supply and the demand, but mostly trading datas, obviously, that are linked with the electrons that they trade every day.
Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, Punaya.
Cheers.
Hi, Frederick. One quick, well, it was very heartening to hear about SF6 free breakers and its introduction to the market, etc. Now the competitors, I don't know what roadmap are the competitors charting out. Now, if the majority of the players are still SF6 in the market, how is it that you're trying to position this versus the SF6, which is predominant in the market today? That has a much bigger acceptability than something which is yet to be tried and tested on the field.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I made this morning a tour of our competitor booth. Everybody is pledging about environmental solutions, right? So I'm sure they will all come to solutions that are protecting the environment. This I'm sure. Some have already announced some solutions, right? Some pledge that they are already SF6 free. So hopefully, and I know we will not be alone in this journey. And the more the competition is joining us in this journey, the better it is, right? But I am pretty sure that in 5 years from now, you will see all the profession coming with solution on SF6 free. We obviously hope our solution will be at the forefront, but we don't want to be alone, and we will not be alone, for sure.
That's a very interesting take. We change for better together. And of course, our solution is the best, Fred, any day.
Customer to say it.
One more? Last one? No? Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers.